Okay. Hi and welcome. I'm Jim Cavanaugh, Douglas County Commissioner. I'd also like to introduce Commissioner P.J. Morgan, Commissioner Claire Duda, Douglas County Treasurer John Ewing, Douglas County Clerk, Comptroller Dan Esch, any other Douglas County elected officials. I hope I'm not missing anybody. We are here today at the Douglas County Board's Administrative Services Committee briefing on the 2016 Public Safety Bond. This is an official Douglas County Committee hearing, and so I want to remind you that there's a copy of the Open Meetings Law posted in the back there, and we are going to host you, media folks, and anybody else who wants to come on an exclusive tour of the Correctional Center, led by our esteemed director, Dr. Mark Foxall, after the brief PowerPoint. We're real excited about this public safety bond project. As you will recall, in 2016, the voters of Douglas County passed a bond issue, $45 million bond issue, to do a variety of different construction projects for the county and equipment acquisitions as well. And those of you who were here in August at the last committee hearing, which was held at the West Campus at 156 in Maple, have had an opportunity to see a big portion of what we were doing at that facility, which was previously the Fitzgerald Veterans Home and is going to be the Douglas County Office's West Campus, which will house a fully operational and newly equipped 911 center, an office of the Douglas County Clerk, and related Douglas County administrative offices in a totally revamped facility that was built in 1929, but it's going to look like 2019 before we're done with it. This is the other major campus that we are reconfiguring using the public safety bond proceeds. And what you're going to see today is phase one of a two-phased operation. We are, I hope I can get this right, here at the Douglas County Department of Corrections, hosted by the Director of Corrections, Mr. Mark Foxall, ably assisted by his staff and representatives of the Fraternal Order of Police Lodge 8, who staff this place and do the heavy lifting relative to what we do at corrections. And I want to thank Mark and his staff and the FOP brothers and sisters for the key work that they do in providing essential public safety services to Douglas County. Thank you very much. We are I knew I would get this messed up. There we go. We're in the midst of a public safety bond remodeling project. This is an update on that. You will have, if you want, these PowerPoints to take with you. But basically what we are doing here is giving you a briefing on where are we with this portion of the project. This is a construction project, and of the $45 million in bond proceeds, $10 million of that is going to be expended on this facility in two phases. Phase one, which is in progress now and that you'll see on the tour and in some of the slides here today, has to do with the annex, which was built in 1988. We are in the process of redoing 8 housing units in one rec area. 2 housing units in the rec area have been completed to date. You'll be able to see them. than the ones that haven't. And it's a stark contrast in the before and after that you're going to witness. We'll show you the stark contrast between what we were dealing with in terms of lighting and fixtures and some of the infrastructure in terms of plumbing and electricity as well, and what we're dealing with going forward in terms of new windows and more efficient and brighter lights, so that we will be doing, in addition to the miscellaneous plumbing line repairs, replacing all the plexiglass, Lexan glazing, and interior windows in the corridor and divider walls to provide our corrections officers with clearer views, replacing the glazing in exterior windows and paint frames, replace and reglaze skylights over the recreation area. And some of these, this is the actual facility that we're in, and this is the annex building that we are doing in phase 1. Some of these areas haven't been really redone since they were constructed. In this portion in 1988, and in the other portion in 1976. So you can imagine what kind of condition they're in, and you'll see some of the older areas that have not been done yet, so that you can compare and contrast. When we put in new replacement lighting, we go from kind of the old tube lighting to LED lighting, which is not only brighter, but it's more energy efficient. And so in doing this, it's like redoing your home and making it more energy efficient every time that you put in a new appliance or change your heater or air conditioning. So we'll actually, when we're all done, be able to bring down the utility bill of this entire complex. And this place is open 24/7, and it's lit all the time. So imagine if you just left your house on, my children do this all the time, 24/7, and what your electricity bill would be, it's going to be dramatically affected by the replacement of what we have with the new LED fixtures. We're also painting the interior spaces, and you'll see the difference there again, because if you light things up, it's like anything else. You discover things that you hadn't noticed before when the lighting wasn't so good. And those usually aren't pleasant surprises. So this portion of the $10 million public safety bond project on corrections is about $1.3 million. And that is $600,000 in glazing and $400,000 in lighting, and another $300,000 in plumbing, painting, tuck pointing. So to give you a look at some of the things that we're doing, these timelines that you see are important to all of us. And I want to introduce Jerry Leahy and Jeff McGill from our Public Properties Department, who oversee the timelines, the construction contracts, and make sure of two important things: that we're on time and we're on budget. On time and on budget. And those are the two guiding lights for this quality project. And as you can see, the phase 1 annex facility is substantially complete except for the construction phase, which is on time and on budget. And you'll see the phase 2, the same, substantially complete with the exception of the construction phase. And the reason for that is we can't start constructing the new area of phase 2 until we're done with the old area of phase 1, because people live here. And we're constantly dealing with a population that has to go to bed someplace at night, has to be someplace all day long. And so what Dr. Foxall and his staff have had to contend with is moving a population of over 1,000 individuals around a construction site and doing that in a safe and secure manner. And they've done a great job, and I want to commend them for the job they do, but it's not easy. And so phasing this construction is a factor of we have to end one portion of the construction before we can start the other because of capacity issues that we have with the population. This is some of the area outside. You're not going to be able to actually see this when you go on the tour in a few minutes, but we wanted you to get an idea of what that was like. The exterior walls of the annex, as you can see, are brick, and the brick has deteriorated over time. And so what we are doing is sheathing the brick in metal, stabilizing it, and making sure that it'll last for a long time going forward, and consequently ending the deterioration of the brick that will be protected underneath this metal sheathing. You're not going to be able to see this because it's on the outside wall, but it's an important part of maintaining this important facility well into the 21st century. So all up and down the outside perimeter walls, you're going to see some scaffolding up, and that's what they're doing with that. There are some projects that are literally on the roof, and you're going to see the inside of some of those when you go on the tour. And one of them, probably most dramatically that you're going to see, is a skylight on the recreational area. So it's like a basketball court, but it's lit with enormous skylights, and those are all being replaced, reglazed, resealed, and a lot of that occurs up top. And so literally that is the outside of what you're going to see the inside of when you go on the tour. We're pretty excited about this because we've got an enormous facility here. This is the largest correctional center in Nebraska. I'm going to say that again. Largest correctional center in Nebraska. Bigger than the Nebraska Correctional Center. And we are proud of the fact that we do a great job with this important mission. Thanks to Dr. Foxall and the brothers and sisters of Fraternal Order of Police Lodge 8, we have a first-rate facility here that does a super job of providing us, the citizens of Douglas County, with a safe and secure corrections facility, which is essential to a safe and secure community. We've also been very proud of the fact that using our excellent AAA bond rating, we are able to do this without raising property taxes. All of this is done with a bond issue approved by the voters, and none of it is done with an increased property tax levy. That's a big thing, and we're very proud of the fact that we were able to, with help from partners in the private sector, to pass this bond issue, do all of these facilities, and not raise property taxes by a single cent. So I'd like to thank the people from the community who are here today, Perry Nealon and Bob Campos, who led up the Citizens for a Safer Douglas County, which without their help, we would probably not have been able to successfully pass the bond issue. So thank you, Bob and Perry, and all those that worked with you, Jeff, and the Nebraska Taxpayers for Freedom, FOP Lodge 8, the Omaha Professional Firefighters, and all the other community organizations and leaders who came in and helped us pass this initiative. I want to also recognize our architects from Carlson West, Al Pavandra. Al, thank you for a beautiful design and a project that's well on schedule and on budget. We appreciate your collaboration and help on this and look forward to a successful completion. The nuts and bolts of this operation, I think, are this. And I'd like to call on Jeff McGill, who is the general construction supervisor of the entire project, to come up for just a second and walk us through the timeline so that we get some idea of where we are and where we're going. But the bottom line is we're on schedule and on budget. Jeff?
Just a few words about the construction manager, what they do. I think the best part on any project is the process, seeing the project come in successfully, on time and on budget. We have faced challenges in the past, but we work through them. In this project, we have developed a team approach with Department of Corrections, Carl West Provanda, and D.R. Anderson. And with that team approach, things appear to work a lot smoother. Everyone's looking at the same goal, which is at the end, the successful project. So with that, I'll kind of run through the schedule a little bit. We started with the AE selection back in February and March. We broke this project into 2 phases, and the reason why we did that is we felt that the annex project, phase 1, we could get the drawings on the street faster and start the project rather than wait 2 or 3 months out, and it would create a longer construction effect because we can only get into one housing unit at a time. So we broke that up, and as you can see, the design is complete. We awarded the project in April and May, and we're under construction. Just to know that we're about 3 weeks per mod or housing unit. The reason why it looks a little different on the screen is because we had to review all the shop drawings, which are the materials by the architect, and then the contractor had to order them. So we really couldn't start the project until we had all the materials on site. So that's another thing we have to jump through, but everybody was on board, we organized it, and we're working through it. Phase 2, we're in design, we're 25–35% complete, and we anticipate putting the project on the street, I think it was 1st of February, and then awarding it in March. And then the construction will start, as Commissioner Kavanaugh said, after phase 1 is complete. Any questions?
Thanks, Sean. Before we move into the tour, I'd just like to ask Dr. Foxall to come up and outline for us a couple of the real practical advantages and importance of what we're doing to public safety, and joined by the folks that actually have to walk the halls and do the work, Internal Order Police Project. Dr. Foxall.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Douglas County Department of Corrections. As indicated by the Commissioner beforehand, we are the largest correction facility in the state of Nebraska. While the Department of Corrections at the state has more inmates in terms of under one group, our bed capacity here is 1,453, and we've been running at or near capacity for quite some time now. In fact, we hit 1313 yesterday at about 1 o'clock. So it's a busy place right now, even though the weather is beginning to change. And the significance of that is that because we're so full and we have a construction project going on, it's incumbent upon men and women in the Douglas County Department of Corrections to really be on their toes and really try to coordinate the movement of the inmates, because we've got so much movement and we've got the construction going on, we've got crews coming in and out, we've got to find places for the inmates where the housing units have been closed down. So I have to take my hats off to men and women of the Department of Corrections who dealing with the population increases and dealing with a very significant construction project. So my hat's off to you. Thank you very much. Joining me today, left to right, Lieutenant David Aldridge, Sergeant Matt Lewis, and Officer Donna Fricky. And Donna Fricky is kind of our point person day to day for the construction piece. She's the one who's working with the folks coming in, with the trades coming in, with the specialties coming in, tools coming in, tool accountability. You bring the screwdriver in, make sure your screwdriver's going out. Bring the ladder in, make sure your ladder's going out. And you saw that scaffolding outside, and every time I walk outside, that scaffolding scares me to death. Folks, stay awake at night worrying about those kind of things. But it's all lit up, and we got a really good crew that maintains the security both the exterior piece of this, but also the interior piece of this. So I want to say a little bit, I think we want to say a little bit about the significance of this project, not just in terms of updating an aging facility, but also the security and safety that comes along with these upgrades. And the Commissioner showed you what we're doing on the outside. This is a shot of the inside gym in the annex. Again, we're looking at 1988 construction. And the problem that we had here is old glass. It was leaking into the gym. There were problems with that. And whenever you have a leak, it creates other problems and makes some of the space not habitable. So we're able to upgrade that area. And not only did they upgrade the skylights here and seal that up, but we also added additional lighting to this gymnasium area that the inmate population uses. So the skylights that you saw were located right above this backboard here, and leaking down that back wall. And you can see, as you will see on the tour, that this is very bright now. And I want to speak a little bit to the safety and security concerns with regard to lighting up the gym and some of the other spaces that you're going to see. Matt?
Good afternoon, Sergeant Matt Lewis. Sergeant here up on the floors, but also the current president of Fraternal Order Police Elijah, representing the officers here at Corrections. You've heard discussion about the work that's going into this as far as the extra work, the tasks that we have to do moving people around. Well, let's talk about why it's so important. As you'll see on the tour, and you've heard that, you'll definitely see when we go upstairs, this is an enclosed facility. We need lights 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, not only at night. These annex housing units, which consist of 3 bays, or rather long bays, stacked full of beds for inmates to sleep in. In the past, the corners of those bay areas were an issue, seeing what was going on, the activities the inmates are doing, as well as the glass that is in the front of the bays and also out at the hallway where the supervisor or other correctional officers, staff on escort responding to an emergency has to look through to see what's going on. That's all been replaced, and not only is it helping the officers as far as the safety of our staff here and the security, it's helping the inmates because we need to see them to make sure that they're safe where they're at. There's a lot of things that can happen, especially on our overnight shifts when our daytime lights are off. It presents an issue with the bays being a little darker, the back corners, as I mentioned. Now with this new LED lighting, you can see the corners. And you guys will see the difference up there. It's amazing. Prevents several issues, whether it's we can observe the behavior of the inmates a little better at those darker times. Prevents contraband from being hidden because we can see the movement of the inmates better. Talk about some of the metal window ledges in some of the housing units were getting rusted out, which in this line of work presents security issues for our staff and other inmates with what can be made out of that jagged metal. All that's being replaced, which is a huge safety and security issue. So there's been several improvements that are helping the staff here also.
This is, John, this is an example of one of the 1988 constructed housing units. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
This is housing unit 3. This is one of the housing units that we just came into yesterday. D.R. Anderson is going to replace lighting, the plexiglass, painting, windows, the outside with exterior windows. Painting.
You can see the lines of sight are not very good. The officer monitoring supervising this housing unit are sitting in front of this area here, so they need to look back to those areas. So those windows there, these windows looking into the housing unit are obscured from years of scratching on them, and just old. So this was a priority issue. Better glass and better lighting and paint it to even make it even more bright. And Don?
You'll see the rust. We have to replace that whole windowsill.
That's part of the project as well, and this is what Sergeant Lewis was talking about. When you can rust out here, that can chip away. Someone starts to work that metal frame, they can work a shank off of that, and that produces a weapon. So again, this was a critical need for us, and we were very happy that this public safety bond was approved by the taxpayers, and we were able to get some of this work done.
That's one of the showers that we did in one of the first housing units.
Okay, this is work done by the construction team.
No, not the.
The construction team did this, and they said do that. That's not deterioration, but this is what they had to do when you shut down that housing unit to get to the sewer lines, because we had leaking sewer lines, which we got that, we had to shut the housing unit down. You can't afford to have a housing unit, 64 bed housing unit shut down because the population is so high. So this, again, was another critical need for us. Underneath that is what they took out. So clearly, the 1988 Ohio has seen their better days. The new and improved housing unit.
This is housing unit 4 that they just finished on Friday. The inmates have moved back in Sunday. As you can see, bright light windows, they can see all the way through. Exterior windows have been replaced, painted, the numbers. We have a painting officer, he went through and repainted the numbers. Tables have been painted, racks, looks great. You guys all really like it, looks fabulous.
So you look back to that,
Big difference.
and you know, not work the housing unit, and that's why we've got staff represented here today. They can tell you how much better it is to work in an environment that looks like this as opposed to an environment that looks like that. Any comments, gentlemen?
Just one thing. When Commissioner Cavanaugh contacted us about this bond issue, we were in support because of the safety that we discussed earlier about the lighting and the rusted parts and the inmate safety also. Now, just a couple weeks ago, I was touring the annex at 4 in the morning, and you'll see it when you go up there, but you really can't see it until maybe after midnight, when you have one bay that hasn't had construction, the other bay has had construction, and just the light difference. On the one bay, there's a sound system in that area where the officers work, and they can listen to what's going on in these areas. And actually, that's what you had to have on all night long, because if you heard something in the back, you couldn't see it. In fact, you're relying on the street lights with the moonlight coming in those back windows to see in the bays, and it was, I'm not joking, it was that bad. But now on the right side of the bubble, which housing unit 2 now, those lights are so bright, as you've seen in these, you can see everything in there. In fact, the inmates are actually complaining. They're not complaining about the food or the odor. They're complaining about the lighting, and they can't sleep. So it's just a safety concern. It was, we were well supportive of this issue, and we're glad it's happened.
That's just another shot of the day room. In that housing unit that's been refurbished, and you can see how much brighter it is in that area. Another shot of the day room. And I put this shot up. This is dusk a couple of nights ago, and just wanted you to take a look at the difference in the lighting. This is the housing unit that's under construction right now. These are the exterior windows. This is the housing unit that we just finished. It's lit up. And as Lieutenant Aldridge and Sergeant Lewis said, better lighting, in addition to the other modifications that we're making, provide for a more safe and secure environment for the staff that have to work there and the inmates that have to live there. With that ends my presentation. Are there any questions for any of us?
Dr. Foxall, Jessica Gill with Channel 6 here, and maybe this might be a question for somebody else. And you kind of touched base on it a little bit. You mentioned the safety upgrades in terms of lighting, the replacement of those plexiglass windows. Obviously, it increases the safety within these doors, but how would you say that transpires to the safety of Douglas County as a whole?
Well, I would say that if our staff, first of all, we're responsible for the safety and security of the inmate population coming in. And make sure they come in, stay here, don't get out unexpectedly, escape. And the more safe and secure we can make that, the more I can provide an opportunity for our staff to monitor the inmates so they're not up to something that may lead to an eventual escape or something like that. Number one, that's at an extreme end. But also, if you've got an environment that's a little bit more conducive to one of our focus areas, and that's reentry, successful return to the community. We have programming in some of these housing units. We have volunteers coming into some of these housing units. So if your environment is a little bit more positive, because it's better lit, it's better maintained, it's better supervised, because we have these enhancements, then I think that would speak to potentially more successful reentry for the people that are leaving our facility. And we're a short-term facility. We're not a 10 or 20-year facility. So we have to provide as much opportunity for success for people that are leaving our facility in a very short period of time. So I think the overall enhancements to the environment, I think, are in line with some of the reentry pieces that we've put together in trying to spread throughout the facility. And folks, I tell you, if you go out with a little bit better frame of mind than when you came in, that provides for more safety.
Thank you, Dr. Foxall. Gentlemen, lady. You're going to get an opportunity here shortly to go and actually see for yourself. And as I mentioned, one of our journalist friends, to boldly go where few of us have probably done before. And I think that you'll see a dramatic improvement. What we're about here today is a better, brighter, safer correctional center serving public safety needs of the citizens of Douglas County. What we're about here today is doing what you just saw and what you're going to see firsthand in a minute without a property tax increase. That's county government at its best, and we're proud of that, and we wanted to share that with all of you here today. We're proud of the men and women who service in the correctional facility, and we're proud of the fact that we're going to have a better, brighter, safer correctional center when we're done with this project. We'll have you back for phase 2, but thank you very much for coming. Thank you. We're going to take
We're going to break you. Yeah,
part of this is just, you're probably familiar with from the Douglas County Public Property Department budget update for the fiscal year 2017-2018. But the 3 goals of that presentation were communication and public service. Those 3 goals will continue working to improve the communication component of work order process so the customers are better informed. That's inside the Douglas County family. Continue to host customer group meetings for projects taking place in the facilities like this, and Jerry's done a great job with me and Jeff overseeing the build-outs here and at the West Campus. And maintain a comfortable environment that is suitable for its intended purposes. And, you know, I think most of us have been through this place and seen kind of the difference between before and after just on this project. So going back to planning, capital improvement plan focuses on long-term items that are in need of replacement for all facilities. And this is something that, you know, PJ and Claire have probably seen for many years. It's, some of the deferred maintenance and some of the construction duties that just fall to you when you own as much property as Douglas County does. So they continue to provide the 5-year capital improvement plan for approval. Increase in cost is requested to address some of the aged mechanical equipment. We need to split years to address minimal improvements. We're knocking out a ton of that with this project. I mean, when I came on, and I'm not, you know, by any stretch the longest memory in this room, pretty much everything that we're doing here was on the deferred maintenance wish list the public property would come to us with every year, and we didn't have the money to do. So we have shortened that list, but if you, again, own an old house like I do, you never get to the end of that list, because as soon as you knock off, I put the new roof on today, boom, you got to put the new furnace and air conditioner in, which I just did, tomorrow. So, you know, this is kind of like an endless process, but the planning of it is a good thing, and I think that the 5-year capital improvement plan is something that we're going to be entertaining in this committee early in 2018. Bond projects recommended going forward, we're going to leave aside for today's discussion the bond project possibilities relative to the proposed juvenile justice center, simply because I don't know that it's developed to that extent. But it would seem to me that a project of that scope would involve some bond mechanism for financing of some type. And that's, again, the topic for future discussion. Sorry? Anybody? No?
Yeah, you're right. 130 million, pretty safe bet.
Okay, thank you. Jump in at any time. This is the last point that I'm going to make. Consideration of future bond projects like that one should include our own next biggest real estate asset, the Douglas County Health Center. We have deferred mechanical and electrical upgrades of about $5 million. We have renovation of the West Wing, 14 to 16 million. We have miscellaneous projects, you know, TBA, just when you've got a facility that old, or if you move something from one campus to another, like, say the youth center, that you might repurpose some of that real estate like we are doing with the West Campus. And, you know, that's down for $1 million, but that's a nominal $1 million because we don't know what that would be or how we would repurpose it. That's it. That's the long and short of the public property strategic planning update. As I indicated, I think we'll probably revisit this in terms of a 5-year capital improvement plan, deferring again to do this insatiable desire for long-term planning and strategic overview.
Just can't get enough.
Anybody? PJ?
No.
You're the real estate maven here. I mean, is this the way to go, or are we just...
No, I think it's fine. We'll continue to have these discussions and talk about that and get Jerry's recommendations for sharing that. And take the priority.
Clark?
Sounds good.
Any staffers? Anything? Jerry?
The only thing I can say is that what you saw here in the renovations that were deferred and eventually handled through a bond is why I'm kind of looking out there for the health center, because we do have the same issues that we will come before your committee and ask for capital improvement dollars that are pretty high. But to do it all right, if you're going to do it in a plan, I'm throwing out this next bond future plan. Now, how we do it, floor-wise, have you seen One West out there? I don't know if you did that tour.
Not for a couple of weeks, but it's looking good.
It's looking really,
looking great.
really nice. And we did that kind of in-house with our budget and some of the health center budget. But if we do that entire West Wing, I mean, the possibilities are phenomenal. So I think you get the idea, that the way to catch up is through a bond. I don't know when, and I don't know what bond will be retired to replace one or to the other, but we hope Joe can find a couple of them out there. We'll free up some money, but that's all I have today. This project is going very well.
Good.
Very well. And so is West Maple.
That's a wrap. Thanks for coming. Appreciate it.
Thank you.